I can't look back, it's too late now. My days are hours and I don't know how, but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Good morning and welcome to the 88th Breakfast Ball. I'm your host, Bob Cardia, and a good morning to you. Again, if you like what we're doing, please smash that subscribe button. Love to get new subscribers every week. Also, if you like what we're doing, please comment "I love the Breakfast Ball" in the comment section underneath. When you do that, you're eligible to win a Starbucks gift card. Hope all is well out there, folks. I guess kicking off another fall season of college golf. So we had our first day of tryouts on Friday, which is always fascinating. We're going into this season with high hopes. This team is definitely a little bit stronger than last year's team. Definitely deeper, anyway, for sure. So conditions weren't great. The guys didn't play quite as well as they had hoped, and it's fascinating because a lot of the guys, I would say maybe a third of them were a little bit down, and I know one in particular was on the putting green afterwards, putting and practicing, and I tried to have a conversation with him about everybody fails, and it's amazing because not everybody wants to hear it. I guess rightfully so. We've all been there when something hasn't gone well, and you don't want to hear it. You just want to kind of take the moment to absorb what's going on around you. But the truth is, and I used to say it to my little league team all the time, no great comeback ever started when you were ahead. If you're if you're planning on anything in life, understand this. Fear of failure, okay, is usually way worse than the failure itself. You got to pull yourself back up by your bootstraps and give it a go. I've had it happen before where guys just phone it in after a bad round. Those are usually the guys that don't end up being great. Actually, those are the guys that end up not being great. But, I heard something not too long ago, and, I think it puts things into a really cool context. Might be, a little bit on the deeper or, I don't know, not morbid, but basically, 150,000 people passed away last night. All right, that's the stat. I guess they passed away in their sleep. And, I bet you the way I heard it and understood it, those people would probably do almost anything for one more day to try to do what they wanted to do. But rather than that, they sit there waiting for their goals, or they're waiting for the right time to come, or wait for the right moment. It doesn't happen, guys. You have to... the world will have a tendency to define you by your lowest point. It's your goal, right? Or it should be your goal, is to take the low moments, and rather than thinking of them rather as a low moment in your life. Because what's the low point of any building or strong structure? Is the foundation, right? So rather than saying, hey, this is a low point in my life, I'm going to wallow here, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to stay down. No, think, hey, this is going to be my foundation. And it all starts with discipline. We talked about this, motivation versus discipline a bunch of times. The bottom line is no matter how small your action that you take, because the physics of it is an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So no matter how small a move that you make on something going forward, it creates momentum, right? And here's the thing: if you can do things, actually your success or your failures are going to be basically, multiplied by how many times you can put a successful piece of movement forward in a row, or or non-movement in a row. Either one creates a momentum in a certain direction. So anyway, getting ready to head over to the golf course right now for the final round of our tryouts, and I'm hoping to see some fire in some of these guys' eyes, because it's you got to be crazy, or you gotta just have a complete lack of awareness of what life is, if you think that you're not going to fail at some point. Actually, I, in my own personal life right now, we just launched our own Spotify, YouTube. My catalog is going to be a catalog. It's a pretty small catalog at this point, folks. But my music's going to be coming out at midnight Saturday night on all the major venues, TikTok, Spotify, Pandora, all that kind of stuff. And I'm pushing it out there. And whether or not it works, it doesn't work. By the way, thanks to Matty J. The name of the band is Birmingham Bob and the Bull Roast. So you could probably look it up under my name if you want to. But we'll have songs coming out this week. Point being is, is there ever a good time? But unless you take a chance, unless you do something, unless you make a movement forward, nothing's ever going to happen, folks. So anyway, for my guys today, today is not, one day I'll hope I'll be something. Today is day one of I want to be something. All right. So anyway, I guess the point being is, remember the quote that I gave you to start this whole entire show off is, the fear of failure is typically way worse than actually failing. And there's 150,000 people last night that passed away that would love to have the opportunity that you have today. Right? Yeah. And no great comeback ever started when you were ahead. All right, guys. Again, if you like what we're doing, please smash that subscribe button. I hope some of this motivational stuff gets you through your day. I hope you realize, that you're going to fail your way to success. Smash the subscribe button. Again, I love the breakfast ball in the comments section, and that makes you eligible for your Starbucks gift card. And we do have some merch on our website too. So if you want to look that way. Anyway, folks, have a great week. I will look forward to seeing you next week. All right, go get 'em.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. There's no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.